Welcome to another video from Tech Central. My name is Chris Harris, and today I'm going to chat to you a little bit about our Bix'n Andy Triggers. We've just come back from the SHOT Show, middle of January down in Las Vegas, and we had a fantastic show, 4 days of talking to customers about triggers. Very importantly, at the SHOT Show, we launched our new TacSport trigger, and I'm going to be talking to you about that today. It's interesting, we've been in the country now selling the Bix'n Andy trigger, primarily the competition trigger, for 5 years, and we've just, we've had a great success with this trigger since we've introduced it. We've got plenty world records in rimfire and in centerfire bench rest, and what we've now seen over recent years is that the Bix'n Andy triggers are getting into a lot of other disciplines, not just the high-end, bench rest, high-end sort of target competitive shooting. So I think, with the advent of these extra triggers, I'd like to just sort of go over the lineup and show you a little bit about how we've segmented the lineup, and then talk to you a little bit about the concept of the trigger as well. Because a lot of people, at the show, we found people were coming up and asking about Bix'n Andy, and we did a lot of explaining as to why Bix'n Andy is actually doing as well as it is. So the first thing I want to focus on, and I've got a simple, if I can call it that, the competition trigger, no safety, no bolt stop, no two-stage, just a single stage competition ball trigger. And what I'm going to do, this one is really nice in that it's got an acrylic cover to it, so you can actually see inside, and you can see the two little balls here. You can see your retainer bar, reset bar, the bottom sear, and obviously your top sear. And when I load this trigger, you can see the top sear pushing down and then coming to rest against these two balls. Now, the cool thing about the balls is that they are capable of supporting a relatively large downward force that is exerted from the cocking piece when the cocking piece engages with your top sear here, and it can support that. And the moment they break away, this retainer bar breaks away, the balls fall away very quickly. So we have what we call an extremely fast unlock time, and we can do that. So we can support a lot of weight going down and still have a low reset force on our top sear. So when we talk about having the lowest reset force in the industry, and people say, well, is that important? Well, it is, because we want to have the least amount of upward force on our cocking piece. So the cocking piece is here just before we pull that trigger. The sear breaks, the balls then fall away like this. You can see here, there you go. Balls falling away, trigger resets, balls fall away. So when those balls fall away, and the cocking piece, the top sear drops, the cocking piece is going to fly over this in its little quarter-inch travel down to the primer, and we don't want our top sear interfering with the cocking piece, or as little as possible anyway. So that's the concept of the ball trigger. These the Bix'n Andy triggers are just absolutely beautifully made. They are all machined out on the inside, the best materials used throughout the triggers, and that's allowed us to actually have now these triggers in the market for 5 years, relatively no failures. We're just really impressed with the durability of the triggers. So it's nice when we've got 5 years behind us, because we can we can now talk a little bit from experience as to how well these devices are holding up, and they really are great. And I think the quality, the machine work on these things, and the strategies involved in putting it together really make for a good package. So I've got this one here as well. This is the same concept, okay, but in the this two-stage triggers have become very popular in recent years. Same concept, you can see the tops here locking down on those balls, and there's your first stage. So your first stage can be set independently of your second stage of pull, completely independently. So you are capable of setting your length of pull of the first stage and the weight, the force for the first stage, and then when that comes to an end, it engages with your second stage sear, which operates identical to the single stage trigger. So that's sort of the way the ball trigger works. The ball trigger is in fact in every single one of the Bix'n Andy Triggers today. It all started, I think it was about 2004, if I'm not wrong, when Andy Atzel of Bix'n Andy decided to use this patented idea and put it into the Seiko and the Blaser triggers, because the Blaser rifle in Europe was very, very successful concept of a rifle. However, people did not like the trigger. So the idea of using the balls to reduce that trigger weight, to reduce the unlock time, worked certainly really well. These triggers here are, in fact, if we just look at this board now, what we've done is to try and make it understandable. We've split the range up into your competition triggers and your sporting triggers. The sporting triggers are those that we've just released. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about that just now. But the essential difference between the competition and sporting range is your trigger force. So with your sporting range, we have limited the bottom end of the force to 300 grams, about 10 ounces. So we can go from 10 ounces all the way up to about 4.5 pounds, 2 kilos. So whereas on the competition side, we can literally take the weight down as low as, if you experiment, you can actually still work a gun really safely, believe it or not, at weights as low as 10 grams, which is third of an ounce, say, so extremely lightweight and still, a very, very safe trigger. So that's essential difference. Competition is designed, for very low pull weights, and the tactical side is for the higher pull weights. And the reason why we came out of these is because we were just getting an increasing demand from people who used the competition trigger, just the straightforward single stage competition, sometimes with a safety. And they said, this is fine, but I can't get out, and go and hunt with this, or go to my tactical matches with a 1 ounce trigger or half ounce trigger, which is, understandable. Another thing, a difference between the competition and the sporting is just the materials we use. You can see these are all anodized aluminum, and that helps to actually get our weight down. You will also find that the competition series are more pricey, they're more expensive, and the reason for that is they got extra parts in it, and we have set up the factory differently now for the sporting lineup, so that we can actually produce the triggers, more of them, at more cost effectively. The sporting lineup, we've got the single model at the moment called the TacSport, which comes out in 4 different versions. It's a single stage and a 2-stage, single stage and 2-stage, and I'll cover that in a little bit more detail, and then both with left and right hand safeties. So our TacSport trigger comes standard with a Remington bolt stop release lever on both of them. You can see this one, it's been removed. They're very easy to remove. It's one little E-clip and it comes off, and they also come standard with a safety. And in fact, it's a really cool safety in that what it allows you to do, if you want, You can set it up with your typical Remington safety, where you just push it forward and rear to engage and to disengage the safety. But we are going to ship it with an extra feature in it, and it's your choice to disable it if you want. You've got to go into the trigger and just take a pin out, but it will require you, when you take the rifle off safe, is to move the safety lever just a little bit to the side to disengage it and then move it forward. When it's in a rifle and you've got used to it, I think you'll really like it, because it provides you with the extra safety. There's no chance of the safety going off when you hit some brush or whatever, and it's still yet extremely easy to use. You're not going to find it cumbersome or complex. Just a little sideways and forward move, and you've got it unlocked. So just quickly, if you look at let's just look at the lineup here again. On the competition side, we've got the triggers for the Tikka, the Seiko, the Blaser. There's also a Mauser version as well, which we don't have up here. And then on the Remington side, for the Remington 700 footprint, which will fit into a standard Remington 700, or many of your clone type actions that BAT make, that Defiance make, that Stiller make, and so on and so forth. That's just going to drop in. And then you get them, as I say, this trigger will come with safety and bolt stop released if you wish. Then you get the 2-stage, which comes with and without safety and bolt stop release. We ship them with just a very basic little trigger shoe. You can, if you want, you can add a fancy shoe like the Unshoot Sensitive shoe, which we also sell. And then the top of the line in the competition is the 2-stage Marksman trigger. Now, this used to be our old TacSport, but we felt that name was going to be more suitable for our sporting lineup, and we just launched the Marksman or TacSport, so we sort of stole the name from that for our new launch. The Marksman, again, also comes with and without safety. It is completely separate 2-stage. The difference here is that we've got a built-in trigger shoe. It can be the distance of travel on the first stage could be set from 0 to about 6 millimeters, and the weight of the trigger, your pull force can go all the way from under half an ounce, 10-15 grams, all the way up to over a kilo, depending on certain springs you put in. So you've got to go through and change the spring setup for the return spring and the first and second stage of pull. But those weights are all can all be set up independently. And then on the TacSport side, we have these triggers are housed in stainless steel. You'll notice that the triggers are a lot more enclosed than you'd find in the typical aftermarket Remington trigger. They are enclosed on all sides. Obviously, it cannot be hermetically sealed, but you will get a lot more protection from the dust. They are all machined. There are no stamped or cast parts in this trigger, so everything's been machined from scratch. Something that we've kept with both lines, which is important, and people love this, is the fact that all these triggers can be opened up. You'll see they've all got little screws on their cover plates. You can take the cover plates off. Same with the TacSport here. Take the parts out, clean them out with brake clean, dry them off, and put them back together again. We feel that just like your lawnmower or your rifle or your bolt or whatever it is, you do need to service these things from time to time. And however much we try and protect them from the elements, you're going to get potentially fluids in there, dust, oils, and these triggers need to be, they're going to work their best when they're clean and dry. So that's pretty much, I think what I just on a note, what I can do, just go over pricing generally. As I said, the competition stage is set to be a little bit on the higher side. We start today. The single stage competition trigger is $375 with a safety and bolt release. I think it goes up to about $500. Our marksman comes standard at about $495 as well, and our Tika, Seiko, and Blazo in the late 400 range. Now, what's really neat and exciting for the market, and I think that's what caused a huge buzz at the SHOT Show, and certainly has led to us being sold out with our first shipment already, which is arriving soon, is the price point for these new triggers is really exciting. We brought in the single stage at $235. We're introducing it to the market at a very competitive price, and then the two stage is going to be just $20 more than that at $255. The people who felt this trigger at the SHOT Show, they couldn't believe it. It has got such a beautiful pull on both first and second stage, exceptionally clean break. As I said, it's got all the technology of the competition that's bred now into the TacSport triggers. So we believe that this is going to be just a huge hit. If you have questions maybe that I haven't covered in this video, please give us a call. We love to chat to you guys. Here's the number on the bottom of the screen. You can go to our website and have a look at the various models there as well. But please, feel free to call us, and thank you again for your support and for watching our videos. We look forward to seeing you soon. Thank you very much.